only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone.
You've probably seen this tons of times on TikToks, Reels, everything else. This is Bradley Edwards, the lawyer of the victims against Epstein. He said that Donald J. Trump was the only person who would speak to them, and he speaks on what he believes Donald J. Trump's relationship is with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's get into the clip. It's going to be about 3 minutes long. Normally, you probably just only see the first minute.
Absolutely. Now, just one more question on that document, and this goes to the more salacious rumors, but I would like you to just, whatever you can say on it. Obviously, our current president.
The document that he is speaking about is a little black book that had all the victims' names into it, and maybe it would say something like massage in New York, Paris, all these places. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. But with that said, he's going to start asking about Trump.
Has had relationships with Epstein in the past, and there are those Katie Johnson and maybe other victims who have accused Trump of being involved in things like this. In my experience, Trump supporters will not listen to anything along those lines. Obviously, we're not a court of law here right now, but are those claims that that case was dropped, it was dropped before it went to court. In your opinion as a lawyer and your experience, is there anything you can say as to the validity of those claims, or whether or not there will be any more about that?
Nothing at all. The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That's ridiculous. If you really, really think about it, guys, that's ridiculous. Donald J. Trump was the only person to do something? What? Like, this is your civil duty to tell anyone when it comes to, like, child molestation, all of these things. If it was a murder, you would think it'd be your American civil duty to do something. None of these people wanted to speak on the record. Trump spoke on the record. Why would he be speaking on the record if he was speaking against himself? That's where a lot of these liberals say, Trump went to Epstein Island. You know what? If Trump was at Epstein Island, it wouldn't have taken 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, how many years to come out with the evidence, to come out with the list, to come out with these names. It's ridiculous.
2009?
That was in 2009. So,
2009.
Do you know if there's any truth to James Patterson's claims that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago?
I've definitely heard that. I definitely heard that, and I don't know that it was Trump himself as opposed to a manager there.
Trump's club, so
Yeah, Trump. I've heard the rumor that Epstein was kicked out of there for allegedly trying to pick up somebody's daughter or something like that. But I think I did chase that down as far as I could and never was able to confirm it. But I heard it.
I'm on the same boat with that. And just as far as Mar-a-Lago, that's where Virginia Roberts was kind of brought into the whole scheme, right? Via
that's where she was recruited.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's where she was recruited and brought to Jeffrey Epstein's house. So, the story of someone else being recruited there is not so far-fetched.
Absolutely.
It's believable.
All right. Well, I know you're busy. Anything else you'd like to just leave the audience with as far as what we can
So that's about the end of where he actually talks about Trump. If you'd like to see the full video, I'm going to link it down below. To expound upon my earlier point, if Trump really was on Epstein's Island, they wouldn't have to make up all these fake conspiracies against Trump. They wouldn't have to make up Russiagate. They wouldn't have to make up this thing with the Ukraine deal. All this bull crap where oh my gosh, why is the media really going after Trump on that? Did he pull the tag off his mattress? What's going on here? Because they would selectively say, here's the evidence for that. I think the reason why they hate Trump so much is because he said no to all this perversion. He said no to all this disgusting stuff that's happening. And you know what? Trump did come out here and fight this. He was the one person One person out of, they probably called all these high-level celebrities. All these high-level celebrities probably were on Epstein's island. Who knows? Maybe they didn't want to be there, but I think a part of what it was they wanted to make sure that they were in their bag, that they were able to use them for influence to say whatever they wanted. As soon as they knew they had that, hey, you went to Epstein's island against them, they knew that they could blackmail them into saying anything. They could blackmail them into pushing bad drugs. They could blackmail them into pushing the woke ideology. They could blackmail them into doing whatever they want. I think you're going to see a lot of dominoes topple with this list coming out, and we're going to see what is the public perception to it. I think a big wave is about to come crashing down. Guys, I think a lot of times people forget that this is not just politics. We're talking about, like, instead of a mass murder, it's a mass PEDO, assaulting children sexually. And we're not just talking about American children. We're talking about Mexican children. We're talking about South American. We're talking about Asian. These are children all over the world that this is really disgustingly happening. Watch Sound of Freedom. Your stomach will churn, but you will understand what this really means. What does this mean? What have they been coming against, guys? So make sure to stay tuned to this channel. I'm going to be looking more into the Epstein documents, going to be looking into news, going to be looking into commentary and reactions. God bless you guys, and make sure to pray for these victims. Make sure to pray for victims of sex trafficking all over the world. It really is disgusting. It's a perversion of what God put on here to be between a man and woman in the holy matrimony of marriage. Really, really is pretty sad, guys. Have a good day, and God bless you. All right.